G'day folks, welcome back to the Jaws of Victory. We're up to the German player turn, and this turn begins with the event phase, which sees continuous front release segment. Now this is basically where these German units locked in have the potential to be released, but there is nothing they can do on this first turn. Basically there are a couple of conditions that could cause their release, proximity of Soviet units being surrounded, etc. But yeah, nothing to worry about there. We can just skip past that. Then we have the German declaration segment, and this is where they would declare core isolation, Operation Wonder, and breakouts, but none of that is happening. So we can go to the replacement reinforcement phase. Now there are no, that's on the turn track, there are no German replacements, but there are some German reinforcements. They were placed here. I have conveniently prepared them down here. They come in on this hex here. They move at half their movement rate for this turn, that particular batch of reinforcements, and they'll move during the movement phase, which is the next step. So during the movement phase, we start with the reserve declaration step. Now, I've looked at this and I've thought about it, and I don't know where or why the Germans would want to place much in reserve, so I'm just going to say nothing. And thus, we can move straight to the movement segment. And you'll notice sort of here, there are some reminders for units that only have half their movement rate. Some units can't move at all, so the 57th Infantry Division can't move during turns 1 or 2. All these units up the top here can't move during turns 1 and 2 unless activated, surrounded, or released. 11th Corps Artillery. So there's so many rules on units that can't move. Most of them will have like big X's or little reminders like that. So hopefully that covers. It does say though, 11th Corps Artillery may not move during turn 1 unless there's a Soviet unit within 6 hexes. Well, that unit can move because there's a Soviet unit. I'm guessing they can move. Okay. A little bit confusing. What units are they referring to as not being able to move? I don't know. Because this is where the 11th Corps is. Maybe they're not counted as having moved within 6 hexes. So unless a Soviet unit enters within 6 hexes of the unit. Well, they haven't they started there. They didn't move, I guess. Is that the interpretation? I'm not sure. Yeah, not sure about that one. Units of the 11th and 14th Panzer Divisions may only move at half their movement rate. So you can see the 14th down here. So the 14th and where is the 11th? Oh, reinforcements coming on the board. Okay. And units of the 3rd, 11th, 14th may only move and declare combat east of hexes 45XX, east of this area, during turn 1, and east of 44 during turn 2. That's okay, because there are no Soviet units west of that line, because my Soviet breakout didn't do too well. Alright, so let's try and plug this gap. This is the concern here for the Germans. Let's try and get them in the way, I guess. How do we do that? We can go half movement rate. So train effects chart, we're moving on a primary road here, which is just going to be 1. Now we could consider strategic movement, but we have to stay 3 hexes away from the Soviets. So these reinforcements coming on could consider strategic movement just to get sort of in this vicinity behind that lovely lake, stream, river, blocking that primary road to Spola. This is what I want to. This is where I want to be, right here. So should be pretty straightforward. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to occupy that little village, and we're going to move some armor up to help us. Let's so hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Following the rail. Railroad is 1, so we can follow that railroad 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could go 5 up into there, which then provides some space for this unit to come in and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very nice. And look, we'll get most of our infantry. That is pretty much it for infantry. So I've got 2, and they're pretty. Yeah, okay. I'm just thinking they're not huge. And then holding there. I think we can just hold there. That should be fine. They are pretty weak and vulnerable. So 3rd Panzer. What else can I get? I could get some AT into the city here and pull these guys just back a little bit and to the south. So the 3rd Panzer is down here, and the 5th SS 389th is up in the north. So I need to remind myself what the limitations on being under regroup status. What are the conditions basically? Okay, effective regroup, the same as disorganized. So basically, movement and combat are halved. Can't use strategic movement. So, what do I do? Pull them back, but that means I have to put something else in the front there. I could put this sort of reconnaissance battalion. They're decent strength, and I could bolster them with some tanks. So what I might do is just pull these back 1, 2. 3, 4, and then send these guys in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then really send some tanks in there. 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe. All right, so I do have room up here. I've got some more tanks up there would be nice, and I need some tanks in there. So I'm going to send my AT 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into there. Artillery 1, 2, 3. Might hold it there. And engineers. What do I do now? I think I send the engineers 1, 2, 3, 4 into there, and the armor blocking that main road into there. Okay. They've come around. They are don't have a lot of strength in this area. It might be worth my while. See if I pull. Decisions to be made around here just to consolidate my strength. I'm thinking about moving into this village, so I'm behind the stream in that village. The village doesn't add, does it add anything? Oh, +2, which is the same as my improved position. But I guess the benefit of being in here is it's behind the stream, which would be much harder to attack. You know what, I can just bring these forces around so I can go, they're leaving a zone of control, which will be in their armor. So it'll be 1, 2 to exit, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they'll be followed by that AT. I think that's good. I don't know. Behind the stream, +2 on defense. That'll give them sort of 10. Attacker halved, which is pretty good. They need some support. A good 12 there with some AT. There are 7. So a lot of these units are very vulnerable. But then we have these units here which can sort of pull back and around. So we could go 1, then 2 to exit zone of control, 3, 4. Oh, I forgot about the extra cost to enter a zone of control. So 4, and they'll stop. Where'd they come from? 1, 2. Oh, gee. 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess. Yeah. And the armor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have to remember that cost to enter a zone of control. Alright. Gee. Now these guys are kind of... oh no, the Germans can. The Germans... Okay, this is tough. Germans can move Zoc to Zoc, but they become regroup. They put a regroup marker on them, and then they have to stop. Now, I've got a good unit there. I might just try and hold with that unit. There is a stream there, so the stream... I've forgotten the impact of Zoc. Will it affect... No, streams... So zones of control do not extend across a river or ford, but it doesn't specify streams. So there are Zocs across streams. So I'm going to have to hold that unit there. Oh, I don't know what else to do with these guys. Artillery behind the lines. There's not a lot of depth. I think this is where... And this is where maybe we can get the 11th Panzer. Okay, so they move at half their movement rate. And they could use strategic movement to kind of come out here, maybe. So let's try that. That'll just save them. They'll move it. Actually, it's still going to cost them 1, so there's no point at all. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's as far as I can get. Motorized units can move at 1/4. So armored units using a primary road still pay 1, but these mechanized motorized units only pay 1/4. So they can go 1, 2, 3, and it's a third. 3, 4, 5, 5. And then 6, 5, they've got to stop there. Okay. This is another armoured unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we can remove that label. Or text comment. Alright, this is motorised engineers. They can move, if they use strategic movement on a primary road, it's 1/4. So 1, 2, 3, I'll stop there. How did they get there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they can't go any further. Okay. And then this is motorized, right? 1, 2. Might hold them there. Okay. Slow movement, I know. Some engineers behind the line over here. I don't know what to do with these guys. Bring them closer to Nova Mirgorod. Non-motorized, half along a primary road. So a secondary road would be half as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can't. I don't know. Yeah, they can stack together, I'm sure. All right. Yeah, I know I've got all these units here, and tossing up whether to pull them back or just leave them. They're holding the. I mean, do I need this many units holding the line in this area? Can I, for example, swing some of these units around? Yeah, this is a good force here, but it's risky. What have I got to lose? I'm losing a improved position. I can't, but then I've got, you know, an A-ranked Soviet unit opposite me. Means they'll smash this formation here. That's the benefit of having a continuous line, I guess, is... Oh. So where did these guys come from? Let me reconsider movement trial. They came from here, which forces this unit to be halved. They're not doing anything behind the lines there, so I'm just going to move them back. Sorry. Yeah. All right, let's get some artillery. That happens in the mutual supply phase. So I could move them sort of 1, 2, just over here. And I'm just going to put them in a little bit of safety over here. I'm just worried about this vicinity here. And I'm not too worried about this artillery. They're okay. All right, so looking up into the north now. Again, they're behind a stream, so they're in a relatively safe position. We've got a C-ranked unit there, reasonably strong. We do have a disorganized armor there. And they should have, actually. They should have flipped to regroup. Okay, let's pull them back behind that stream just to give them a bit of extra strength. Artillery, they're okay. So they're behind a bridge and a stream. That's all looking okay. Engineers will hold them there near the bridges here. It's really this little situation here. No one else really needs to move. I'm just going to pull them back a bit. And I think I'm just going to stay here. Defense of 10. These guys have got tanks. I don't need both tanks in that area. These guys don't have tanks. So I'm going to move these tanks down to here and the bottom of the stack with the infantry on top. So that's all, pretty much all I'm doing. Engineers, I'm worried they're sort of stuck out in the middle of nowhere. So maybe pulling them around, or what I could do, what I could do is bring this formation down to here. Yep, happy with that. Just bolsters that a little bit. Still got the stream and a lake, and they're in a the these guys are a bit vulnerable here. 389th. I'm tempted to just pull them back to the woods over here, or even the hill, rather than sort of being exposed. If I can put them here and get some help for them. Maybe I just go. So they're regrouped. Their movement is halved. They can only move like 2.5. Crossing that stream would be like, there's no bridge there, and it's a town, which only costs 1. So what I could do is move this C ranked unit here with them, and then pull these guys back to here, so that whole stack is regrouped. But they're behind the stream, so you know attackers will be halved attacking them. Next to me, a solid line down here, solid line down here. Blunting, hopefully. We'll see what happens. There's a big Soviet turn 2 attacks coming. But that's it, pretty much it for movement. Looking further north, as I said, these units holding. Artillery, we might just nudge them forward down to here. Engineers, happy. These guys, okay. Yep, 72nd Division holding around there. We've got these engineers and some artillery up here. May not move on turn 1. Okay. Everyone else kind of locked in. That's it. That's it for the German movement phase. What else? I could have used rail movement. Could also have... I could have used rail movement. I don't think I need rail movement. Let me think about this. So rail movement, reinforcements only can use rail movement. I need to check the... Are there any limitations on rail movement? I don't think so. Some German reinforcements are designated to enter using rail movement. Okay, so it'll say on the turn record track if they come on using rail movement, I guess. Rail, by rail, by rail. Got it. Not these guys. Just a half movement rate. Understood. That's pretty easy then. So, I'm just checking what else. Armor intercept. I've got to remember that rule as well. But I don't think I moved. I didn't move hex to hex. So I've got to remember that armor intercept rule because it's something that's not in my mind. I don't think I violated that at all. I was pretty keen to move away from the Soviets, which doesn't invoke that rule. And there were no sort of subscript ones on those artillery units that I moved, so that's all fine. All right, so combat phase. Okay, well, there are these Soviets on the hill. I do have 10, 13, 14, 15. They'd be halved across the river, and I've got some others down here. I just don't. I'm not in the counter-attacking mindset among the Germans. They don't really. 3 divisions here, but they'll have to attack there. They'll have to sort of be halved. So they'll be halved, which leaves me with like them in a little bit. So not a lot of strength to counterattack with. So no counterattacks taking place, no combat taking place. We then get okay, except that the German units attack, Soviets defend. Instead we get night withdrawal. German army units that did not participate in breakout movement on combat may conduct a 1 hex night withdrawal movement. They basically move 1 hex regardless of terrain costs, but I don't think I need to. I'm pretty well set up. I'm pretty happy with how movement has gone from the German perspective, which brings him to the engineering phase. We can build improved positions and bridges. So, any restrictions on improved positions on this turn? Okay. The 11th and 13th Panzer Divisions may not use strategic movement on their turn of entry. Right, so let's rewind this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7. Where'd they come from? They come from elsewhere. 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, and yep, they can stack there as well for 5. All right, a bit frustrating, but okay. Can't use strategic movement. All right, done. Right, improved positions is what I was checking. And yeah, fairly straightforward. Any engineers that have not attacked, I've got to find them all now. Can I just view engineers? Highlight German engineers. There we go. These guys can build improved positions. Must be in clear terrain, not a village. Well, how good am I? I've put I've put them in villages and towns. These guys already have an improved position. I don't think I can improve it. Engineers down here don't need it. Probably don't need an improved position all the way down there. Could build an improved position up here. They can be adjacent to an enemy unit, so I'm going to build an improved position here, and that costs a supply from there, just to bolster their strength a little bit. That's about it. Engineers already have improved positions down here, so yeah, okay. Not a lot of work there for my improved positions. So now we get to the disorganization regroup phase. The German player removes regroup markers. Okay. Where are they all? Maybe, is there a button just to, yeah, German disorganization. This is F6. What did it do? Hopefully it removed all regroup markers. And the Soviet players flips their disorganized markers to their regroup side. Then we get to the breakout phase. No breakout has been declared. We get to the game to turn phase. Victory determination, game turn, advance. We advance to turn 2. And we return to the start of the sequence of play with the ground condition determination. Roll a die at the current game turn modifier, so -1, which is a 3, which will be frozen ground conditions. Then we determine the visibility. Roll a die, cross-reference the number to the visibility table. It's a 1. I'm fairly confident it'll be clear. Roll at 1 die. If the roll is 1 to 4, visibility is clear. Yep. So then we get to the mutual air stage. Both players roll a die to determine of air combat support missions using their respective air availability table. Now for this scenario, let's get the German record track. Combat air support missions. Rolling a die, so they're using their respective air availability tables. German air support. What is the difference between these markers? Well, that one can't be. Oh, that's a print on the map. I'm just wondering, is there a modifier to this? I can't see anything in the special rules. Scenario length, blah blah blah. That's a start marker. I can't see anything about the air. Okay, so what we're going to do is roll a single die, add the die roll modifiers, 2, which isn't great. It's frozen. We get 1 German air support mission. Not overcast, not a storm, not an Operation Wonder. Place the air combat marker. That's it. 1 German air support mission. The Soviet records track. We've got to look at the second Ukrainian front. They roll a die, a 5. Not overcast, not storm. Second Ukrainian front, frozen. It is 3 air support markers. So exactly the same as at the start. Place the markers on their combat support. Okay, this brings us to the mutual supply phase, and that's going to take me some time to think about and work through. So again, I will pause here. We've run through the German turn 2, mutual supply phase, and then German air supply, and then the Soviet player turn coming up. I'll stop here. Thanks for watching, folks, and take care.